Darren Levine here at Media Halo with a review of the Universal LCD Viewfinder, the VF4 Plus by Kamerar. LCD viewfinders help you view your camera's LCD screen, which is mostly applicable to video shooting. This Kamerar unit comes in around $150, which puts it right in the middle of the market. Construction-wise, the frame is a good thick metal, and the housing is a nice thick plastic, and the screen edge has a nice soft rubber for a good light seal. It has two methods of quick release, first being the camera plate, which attaches to your camera, and yep, looks just like a Bogen 501 plate, and fits into my Bogen quick release system just fine, though not quite as smoothly as an original 501 plate. With that attached to your camera, you can still quickly remove the VF4 Plus with the flat plate, which you slide into the QR plate to mate the viewfinder to the camera. The knob to tighten this plate is a nice length and size, and I like that it doesn't stick out from the camera, despite that making it a tad more difficult to grasp. The VF4 Plus is designed for screens up to 3.2 inches. There are 4 knobs to adjust it to your camera, 2 adjust the side to side, the other 2 adjust the top to bottom. All 4 of these screws are thumbable and have a hex slot as well. I found that I could get them sufficiently tight with just my fingers, but that did leave some play. Taking extra care and then tightening with an Allen key does result in a superior fit. Then again, you're going to be pressing it up against your head, which will surely make the seal, so don't go nuts over it. So if you're just going to be using this on one camera, it's worth it to tighten down the screws with an Allen key once you've gotten it perfect. But if you're going to be jumping between cameras frequently, I'd leave the Allen key out of it. If your camera is particularly tall or you're using a battery grip, Kamerar does have an optional taller bracket you can swap in. Optics-wise, it looks very clear. The diopter is a sloppy-ish action but does generally hold its position. A nice touch is the diopter marking guide, so you can find your perfect setting, and if it gets knocked around, you can quickly set it back instead of hunting. I do notice some pincushion distortion, but it doesn't really bother me at all. What does bother me is actually the eye cup, which seems great. It's a nice thick soft rubber, but despite that, it doesn't quite match my particular head shape, and I can't quite position my eye to be able to see all 4 corners of the image without moving my head around. I can solve that by either trimming the eye cup for my head, removing the eye cup altogether, or using an alternative. And I happen to have a small chamois that costs just under $10. It fits just fine. The only functional quirk being that it makes opening and closing the shutter a bit more annoying. And that's another nice feature, a shutter. You've got a magnifying glass over your camera's expensive screen. If the sun catches that in just the right angle, you can fry your LCD. Having that shutter is great for any outdoor daytime work. I did notice that the eyepiece was susceptible to fogging. Thankfully, I have a bottle of anti-fog lying around from my paintball days. Another very useful feature is the flip up to get the eyepiece out of the way. You'll still get good straight light blockage. One annoyance I found is the clip to release the flip up. I naturally brace my other finger up top, but doing that makes it impossible to open the darn thing. If that happens to you, just move that top finger to the other side of the hinge and it'll open right up. I did notice was a tad quirky in getting proper alignment. My first quick dirty mounting resulted in the viewfinder being slightly askew from my screen. Not a huge deal though, just took a bit of extra care in the 2 height adjustment screws to make sure it's square with the screen. With my 5D Mark II, the unit just barely squeezes in there without causing much blockage of buttons and features. The only thing that is significantly more annoying to reach is the on-off lever. If you need to use your camera's built-in viewfinder, you'll need to take off the unit, which takes just a few seconds. All in all, I am really quite pleased with the VF4 Plus. It's got a really attractive price considering its features and build quality. And that'll be it until next time. For the next tutorial, DIY, or review, I'm Darren Levine at MediaHalo.com.